Welcome back, guys. Today's going to be another video on preparedness. As you can tell, it's going to be about MREs and why. Why do you need them? Why should you have them? So let's dive into it. Now, if you're just starting off prepping or just being a prepared individual, you want to start off with MREs. And there's a lot of reasons why. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. So, number one reason is the ease of use of the MRE. Okay, so if you were to have a canned good or a freeze-dried can of whatever, really, you're going to need water, just like you would in an MRE. You're going to need water to cook it. Now, in order to cook, you're going to need heat. So that is another thing you're going to need if you're not using an MRE. You're going to need a heat source, maybe a sterno can or a jet boil or a fire. But that requires more weight to be put in your pack. Unnecessary weight at that. And that's something you always want to get rid of. If you're putting it in a pack, or if you don't have a lot of room to store stuff, if you're a prepper and live in an apartment, you want to take up as less amount of room as you can. So that's why ease of use is probably my number one reason for MREs, because all you need for an MRE is a bottle of water, because inside every MRE is a heating source. It's a chemical thing. It's a little chemical bag. You pour water into it, you shake it, and then put your food inside of it, and it heats it up just fine. So, ease of use for an MRE, I think it's fantastic. Now, going on to number two, it goes into packing. It's the ease of packing. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it weighs a lot less. So, there's a term called, I'm not going to say it, but there's a term called, fucking, but you can rat fuck your MRE. And you can squeeze it down really, really tight. And you can therefore put it inside your pack and make it nice and tight in your pack. So it takes up a lot less room than having a couple cans in there. Another reason being is the weight. Per caloric intake, if you're having it in a pack or you're in a SHTF situation, your caloric intake needs to be higher than normal because you're going to be working a lot more. Your body is going to be under a lot more stress mentally and physically. So therefore, you're going to need a higher caloric intake. And not only a higher caloric intake, you're going to need actually all your vitamins. So you're going to need a lot more nutrients than you normally would on a day-to-day Starbucks and a White Monster, if you catch my drift. So, if you just have a can of beans or pork and beans or any sort of canned good that you like in your pack, this can here roughly weighs about the same as this MRE, if not just a little less. But the problem with this can is that, let's see, only 130 calories per serving, and it has 3.5 servings. It has sodium, carbs, sugars, very little iron, and very little potassium. So, not a lot of vitamins there, a lot of calories, and a decent amount of protein and carbs, which are energy sources in which you'll need. But an MRE was designed for the military to have everything a soldier or Marine or airman would need in the field. When I was active duty and I had to use these, I would probably eat one a day because it would fill me up completely. Like 3,000 calories, it would fill me up. And I would not only be filled up, I would have the nutrients. I wouldn't cramp because I would have every vitamin and nutrient I need. Now, it may not taste as well as canned goods or freeze-dried goods, but it will have what you need in a lighter, more packable package. So that's another reason. And it's very high in caloric intake, guys. So, weight for calories. It's something I learned very early on when it came to packing out my ruck. Is that you pack what you need, and if you don't pack what you need, you pack what you want, you're going to end up regretting it later. So when it comes to sustainment, for long-term sustainment, you're going to want a high caloric item that can be easily stored, like we just went over, easily cooked, without any other, jet boils, without any other things to add weight, which went over. MREs do that. But you also want a high caloric intake. We just went over the nutrient value. But with the high caloric intake, your body is going to need that. I cannot stress that enough. You may feel fine. You may be able to perform daily functions in an SHTF, but you will be drained mentally, physically. And that's not good, because you need to have your awareness to be where it needs to be. You need to be at the top of your game if you can. Now, all the way you're going to do that is by fueling your body properly, i.e. vitamins, nutrients, and high caloric intake, because you're going to be burning a lot of calories. Even if it's not from working, it's from stress. So, and some MREs can come with 2,000 calories, almost up to 5,000 calorie MREs. And last but not least, these things can be stored in any condition. You can put them in the summertime, wintertime, depending on where you are. You may need to get a winterized MRE. But I've had regular MREs like this one in negative 15 degree temperatures with a wind chill of with negative 20 wind chill in the field, sleeping with it. It's not a bad issue. It can still do it. You can put them anywhere. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it moist in there? Oh, is it at a room temperature? Oh, is it this? You don't have to worry about that. You toss this thing on the shelf, in the bottom of your closet, outside in the shed. It's still going to be there years from now, ready to go. Now, you can't say that about canned goods. You have to store these right at the right temperature. Keep moisture away from them because they'll rust. And if I were to drop this can and get a dent in it, if I were to dent this can, it would mess with the integrity of the sealing process, and more than likely, it will make this can, its contents, go bad a lot shorter than it should be. An MRE, you can drop it, throw it, take the packaging, wrap duct tape around it, use it as a baseball. We've done that before. It's a great time. But point is, if you're getting new into prepping, or just being prepared, or you like to go ruck or camp, MREs should be I think a first choice, or at least a case or two of them, because you can get these relatively cheap. I got these off of Amazon, $32 a case. So they're more expensive than canned goods, but they last you a lot longer, have more uses, and more of ease of use as well. And that being said, that's the video on why MREs. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And stay prepared. And don't forget, praise the Lord. Pass the ammo.